I'm Felicity Hammond. I live and work in London and I'm one of the finalists for the ING Unseen Talent Award. The theme is A Fool for Love, so I try to interpret that in a way that I can think about the city, which is something that I make a lot of work about. So I've interpreted that as a way that perhaps the city can be quite unkind to you. Actually, it's, you kind of almost feel like you're a fool for being here and trying to make it work in the city when it's, when you're constantly being perhaps pushed out and further out of London. So I've been photographing a lot of the cityscape, thinking about the sort of different changes in the city and making this large-scale collage work. As I kind of walk down the street and see these new billboards for these new developments, which is something that happens, on a sort of weekly basis, they come up so quickly. And for me, I'm less interested in the building itself, but more about the imagery which starts to promote that space. And that's exactly the way in which they're advertised, is they're showing this kind of really ideal version of the city, which actually, not only does it not represent the people that live there already, but it doesn't represent anything really about that area. So I've decided to construct it by sort of taking multiple images and constructing this new image, which uses the sort of palette of I suppose the kind of advertising images for luxury and urban regeneration. So taking on board these kind of gradients, these, the way in which they promote the city as this very luxurious place. There's always these kind of incredible sunsets, and these kind of billboards for luxury developments always promote the city in a certain way. So I've adopted that in the work, but also taken on the compositional techniques perhaps of more sort of Baroque imagery or sort of more landscapes from the Renaissance period as well. So I use Photoshop to construct all of my collage works, so working digitally and constructing them in that way. The thing that fascinates me so much is, I think there's this kind of collision of the rise in technology and the decline in industry. And for me, the rendered image is something that's so important in that narrative, where sort of advertisers will kind of place these rendered images of luxury living, so these computer-generated places that don't exist yet. Am I a fool for love? I think that living and working in London makes you a bit of a fool, because you have to work so hard to try and exist here as an artist, so perhaps so.